John Beltrap back with Dave Urig as the Bee Diggers will receive the opening kickoff as Fort Morgan has deferred. Head coach of the Bee Diggers is Randy Dreitz, assisted by Lance Schwint, Dick Creighton, Court Marquez, Ron Albo, and Leon Plazik. And Harrison Chisholm is the head coach of the Mustangs in his 8th year. Dreitz in his 15th for Brush. Greg Edson, Josh Langford, Jeff Peterson, Aaron Strobel, Jim Kreckemeyer, Chris Cobley, Kyle Growlis, Corey Knutson, Reed Jablonski, Bob Richardson, Jake Schneider, and Chris Burkhart
Lojek
are the assistants. Thank you, Dave. That's a new one on the staff, so I knew that I might have an issue if I didn't do my homework first and ask before I mentioned that on the air. All right, the Mustangs to kick it off. It'll be Franny Gonzalez kicking it off to the deep man, Kyle Rosenbrock. About 10 to 15 yards in front of him are both Nico Guzman and Alec Peterson. Well, it's been a while. Opening kickoff brought to you by Buildings by Design. The experience to complete your project from start to finish. Buildings by Design. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. And special teams, Dave, has been big the last 2 years. Fort Morgan, a kickoff return 2 years ago for a touchdown. Randy Baker at a 50-yard punt return for a score. And Franny Gonzalez runs towards the football, and he kicks it high and pretty deep. And Kyle Rosenbrock fields it in the end zone. 1 yard deep. What a kick there by Franny Gonzalez. And the Bee Diggers will have the football at the 20-yard line to begin the 2014 season.
I was wondering what Morgan was going to do if they'd actually kick it back there to Rosenbrock. But, Gonzalez did a good job of kicking that thing deep. That was one of the nicer kicks we've probably ever seen.
And there is a swirling wind, Dave, but I'm not sure which direction it's blowing, and I don't know if they actually helped Gonzalez or not.
Yeah, that flag's still hanging down a little bit.
In the backfield are Mikey Gutierrez. He's to the left of Rosenbrock, who's in the backfield. Matos Garcia is the quarterback. Matos Garcia will hand it off on the left side, and nothing there. Swallowed up is Mikey Gutierrez. Jacob Fritzler made the tackle. Right back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Brush lined up in the 400 formation and just tried to run that dive over the left side. 25 dive, just nothing there.
Now out of the shotgun is Rosenbrock, awaiting the snap. Man in motion to the left is Peterson. And on the end around, Peterson running to his left to the outside across the 20 to the 25, knocked out of bounds at about the 26, ridden out of bounds over there by Austin Cosman, the senior linebacker. Let's see if they give him the 27. Nonetheless, it's a sizable gain. We'll call it 7 yards, 3rd down and 3. Let's introduce you to the Mustang defense. Isaiah Lopez, Justin Pineda are a couple of defensive backs over there. Alexander Mai on the line. Jacob Fritzler, we mentioned. Toby McBride, Eric Flugoft, a defensive back as well. Bladen Pollitt. 3rd down and 3, just shy of the 27. Rosenbrock out of a shotgun will keep the football, running to his right, slips out of a tackle. 1st down across the 35 down the sideline, and he sharp-tailed it around the 49-yard line. Excellent play by Kyle Rosenbrock and the Bee Diggers. And it's a gain of 22 and a 1st down for Brush as Richard Herrera made the play.
Yeah, they just run that option, and Fort Morgan McBride over there was the defensive end, and he went after the dive guy. He was aggressively playing the dive, and Rosenbrock just pulled it out at the last minute and headed around the corner, and there was nobody there.
Kyle Daniels and Eric Kimball also part of that Mustang defense. 1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 49-yard line. Yeah, that's that read option after the pickup of 22 by Kyle Rosenbrock. Again, out of the shotgun is Rosenbrock. Awaiting the snap. Man in motion to the left. Back to throw, Rosenbrock looking deep over the middle. The pass is caught by Matos Garcia. That is a 1st down for the Bee Diggers at about the 25-yard line of the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Give them the 26, and it is a gain of 25 on that connection from Rosenbrock to Matos Garcia.
One of the nicer passes we've seen Kyle throw for a while. He had a hard time, hitting some of his receivers last year, but this time, boy, he hit him right on the numbers.
Oh, that was touch. Excellent touch. Again, out of a shotgun, the Beet Diggers 1st and 10 from the Mustang 26-yard line. Man in motion is Peterson, and we have a penalty flag down. I think the Mustangs jumped off sides based on the Beet Diggers' body language. And the preliminary signal is going to be off sides against Fort Morgan. That'll make it a 1st and 5, and the Beet Diggers off to a big start. Here, just 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the game. When you're shopping for new appliances, shop the best appliance store in Fort Morgan. B&B Appliance, a full and complete line of Whirlpool appliances. 1st and 5 for the Beet Diggers at the Mustang 21-yard line. This is the opening drive of the game. Rosenbrock at a shotgun once again. Has the football, and he will hand it off to left side. Breaking it to the 10, the 5, cutting it back. That's a touchdown! A touchdown for Mikey Gutierrez! Gutierrez scores from 21 yards away. And less than 2.5 minutes into the season, the Beet Diggers lead the Mustangs 6-0.
Just a beautiful option there. Rosenbrock did a good job of putting the ball in there, and Mikey did a real good job of covering it up. Fort Morgan didn't know where the ball was.
Dave, it's deceiving at times. He's very Tebow-ish in the way he runs that offense. Now the extra point. Jaron Peterson to attempt the extra point. Awaiting the snap. It's down. The kick is blocked. The kick is blocked. And that looked like it was blocked over there by Toby McBride. 9:37 to go, opening quarter. Brush 6, Fort Morgan nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Don't forget there are plenty of hamburgers available.
Five plays, 80 yards. Michael Gutierrez with a 21-yard touchdown run. The PAT was blocked. And the Beet Diggers are in the lead 6-0. As kicking it off will be Kyle Rosenbrock. A couple of Mustangs back deep to receive, including Kyle Daniels. And the ball falls off the tee. Dave, we don't know about the kicking game so far, but we know the Beet Diggers have got their work cut out for them in that area.
That has been really our strong suit most years. But Rosenbrock, he does a pretty good job of everything. I'm sure he'll get this off.
And that kick is going to be high and short, fielded by Daniels at the 16, running to his right to the 25-yard line, skips across the 25 and tackled at about the 30. Tackled over there by Cameron Alexander. And that's where the Mustangs will have their first drive of the 2014 season. And the quarterback is Joey Schneider. We know how good he is. Excellent quarterback from a year ago. The Diggers certainly have to contend with him. 1st and 10. The backs in an eye. Handoff. Left side, around the left side across the 30, and maybe gaining a yard for Fort Morgan as Tate Kimball. Looked like Nico Guzman made the tackle. It looks like maybe a yard. Let's see where they mark it. They're still spotting the football. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Excellent pursuit by the senior Nico Guzman.
Rushing a 4-man front, 3 linebackers and a strong safety. Did a good job of stretching that play all the way to the sideline.
2nd down and 9 to go from the 31. Backs in an eye. Schneider under center. He's going to hand it off right side to Campbell. He's going to be thrown for a loss. Back at the 28-yard line, the pursuit from Clay Shaver. Shaver, a 6'2", 180-pound junior defensive end. Dave, he must not have been blocked. It's a loss of 3.
You know what? And Clay's a great athlete. Last year, remember, we saw him a lot on special teams. He made a lot of tackles on kickoffs all year long. So even though he's a fresh starter to this defense, he's a guy that can make the play over here on that left defensive end.
Toby McBride checks out of the game. Passing situation, 2 to the right. And one receiver to the left, one setback, 3rd down and 12 to go for Fort Morgan at their own 28-yard line. Schneider, 5-step drop, looking, throwing over the middle, intercepted by Rosenbrock at the 39-yard line. To his right to the 30, slips out of a tackle to the 15, along the right sideline to the 10, and he's tackled inside the 10 to about the 5 or 6 yard line. 1st and goal for the Bead Diggers.
So Rosenbrock, out of his linebacker position, just dropped back into his zone. Snyder didn't see him falling back there, but Kyle's very aware of the field and has a good presence out there. He knew where the quarterback was looking, and he was able to turn around and catch the ball over his shoulder.
Football is at the 7-yard line. So about a 32-yard interception return for Kyle Rosenbrock. 1st and 10. Looks like the deep setback, Dave, is Conrad Cole. At the 7-yard line. Rosenbrock is going to keep the football, and he's thrown for a loss. Excellent pursuit over there by Toby McBride. He read it perfectly. It's a loss of 4 back to the 11. 2nd down and goal for Brush.
Yeah, McBride's playing that left defensive end. We tried to run that option over here to their right, and he just caught him from behind. That shows how fast he is.
2nd down. The board is actually saying the 12-yard line. 2nd and goal. Bead Diggers taking their time getting this play, and I wonder if they're going to need a timeout. Yeah, it looks like they might need a timeout because the clock is rolling, Dave. There's no way they're going to get this play off without calling a timeout unless they're happy with the delay of game, which I'm sure is not the case.
It's awkward. It looks like they're just waiting for it to click down. Yep.
Yeah, and the Bead Diggers will take their first timeout. By the way, the first Bead Digger score tonight brought to you by MMI International. Your operation deserves the best when buying a mixer or feeder truck. Compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. They continually outperform their competitors hands down. They're not afraid to stand behind their product. Call MMI International 842-5161. And that Bead Digger timeout brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. The Bead Diggers have thrown one pass, and it was a beauty to Arnoldo Maltos Garcia, and they might have to use more of that execution here because that was the one-run play, aside from the very first play of the game, that did not work. In fact, that's their worst offensive play so far, even though we're just less than 5 minutes into the game.
Well, we've only had 5 plays total, but you know, the thing is when they get that run game going, they really haven't settled into which offense they were going to run. They started off with the wing tee at the very beginning, and since then they've been in the shotgun running that option. So things just have to settle into place and the kids get into their rhythm.
2nd down and goal for the Fort Morgan 12. Cole in the backfield. Rosenbrock is in a shotgun. Awaiting the snap. Back to throw, looking, throws it left side, complete. Trying to break out of a tackle is Guzman, and towards the 2-yard line. And it's going to be a pickup of around 10 yards before the tackle was made. If Guzman breaks that tackle, it would have been a touchdown off the completion. Well, they're going to backtrack it to the 4, so give him only 8 there, 8 yards. As Eric Kemble made the tackle, but now David's very manageable. 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
You bet. Nico did a good job. As he caught the ball, he went ahead and turned back upfield to the inside off that little button hook sort of look pass, and he did a good job breaking that first tackle.
Peterson is the lone receiver to the right, way out to the right. 3rd and goal. Arnoldo Maltos Garcia is under center. Rosenbrock and Cole in the backfield. Maltos Garcia is going to hand it off to Rosenbrock. Left side, he'll score easily. Standing up. Untouched. And the Bead Diggers now lead 12-0 with 6:17 to go in the opening quarter.
Just that dive over the left side, running behind Cookie Barraza and Omar. And I'll tell you what, those guys did a good job. Omar Fierro, they did a good job of blowing that Fort Morgan defensive line off.
Well, and they're going to go for 2 because of the blocked extra point. We'll have some video up as well. KSIR B106 channel on YouTube, our KSIR page. We'll be posting that up a little bit later on. Now for 2 points. Maltos Garcia under center. He turns, bootleg, right side, looking for a block. McBride chasing him. Matos Garcia dives for the pylon. He's in. The 2-point conversion is good. Midway through the opening quarter in Brush. Brush 14, Fort Morgan nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, the Bee Diggers doing it again off the Kyle Rosenbrock interception. 2-point conversion good. And Brush with a 14-0 lead midway through the opening quarter. Rosenbrock to kick it off high and short once again. Daniels will field it at the 11 to the 15, running to his left to the 20, looking for a block, breaking out of a tackle and down at the 26-yard line. A return of 15. A couple of Bee Diggers in on the play, but the first one was Cameron Alexander. And now Fort Morgan is searching for answers, Dave.
Yeah, they're going to have to start spicing things up. This is where it gets hard for them because our defense gets to start just charging the quarterback and taking some chances. And, boy, it's just tough playing from behind when you're in their shoes. But we've got some great weapons. And I'll tell you what, this offense of the Diggers this year, this is fun to watch.
Is it ever? Just based on what we've seen. 1st and 10 over the first 6 minutes at their own 26-yard line. Lining up towards that left hash mark. Backs in an eye. There's the pitch right to Kemble. Kemble sweeping it to the outside. He's going to be thrown for a loss of 3 yards. Kyle Rosenbrock unblocked. Tackles him at about the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 13 yards to go.
You know who slowed that down was Alec Peterson out here at his strong safety. He just stepped across the line. He took on that lead blocker, and he forced Tate Kimball to have to slow down, and Rosenbrock just came up and grabbed him from behind.
2nd down and 13 for Fort Morgan. Eric Kemble is the receiver wide out to the left. 1 to the right on 2nd and 13. 1 setback. Schneider back to throw. Looks over the middle. The pass is complete. It's a short gain to about the 29, maybe the 30-yard line. Rosenbrock and Aaron Williams made the tackle. And was that Pineda that made the catch? Justin Pineda. So the gain to the 30-yard line goes for 7 yards. 3rd and 6 for Fort Morgan. Schneider in a shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. On 3rd down and 6. Has the football, rolling to his right, looking, still looking. Now he's going to take off with the football across the 30 to the 35. Runs into some Bee Diggers. Very close to a 1st down. But he's just shy of the marker at about the 35.5. Aaron Williams and about 2 other Bee Diggers made the tackle. It's a gain of 6, but is it enough? He might have needed 6 and some change. They might have to bring out the sticks. But excellent awareness there by Joey Schneider.
Yeah, he did a good job there, putting his shoulder down and making that charge for the 1st down. But you know, Clay Shaver, our defensive end, again made a great play there because he didn't let himself get tricked into running inside on the block as he was a defensive end. You know, getting hooked so that Snyder could roll out to the outside. He still kept fighting that outside shoulder, and he didn't allow. Snyder had to cut back up the middle, and then the pursuit was what caught him and kept him from making the 1st down.
By the way, you can follow scoring updates as each score happens on KSIR Sports. That's our Twitter handle, and at 1010 KSIR Sports on Facebook. We've already posted the first 2 scoring plays, so follow us on Twitter in case you missed how the Bee Diggers were able to score. Going to be short by a few inches, but you'd think Fort Morgan's going to go for it here. 4th and inches at their own 36, and Schneider, as big as he is, will probably sneak it himself. I don't know if they can afford to hand it off, Dave. They've had a couple of losses here.
They rotated a lot of kids in there, but it looked like, yep, they put some big kids in there, and they're in a double tight formation, and in that famous power eye they like to run these last few years.
Yeah, they could give it to Toby McBride, who's a horse. 4th and inches for Fort Morgan at their own 36-yard line. 4:42 to go opening quarter. In Brush, the Bee Diggers with a 14-0 lead on a 21-yard touchdown run by Mikey Gutierrez and a 4-yard scamper by Kyle Rosenbrock. 4th and inches. Schneider will hand it off to McBride. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he got it. He was driven back. And it was Jose Rodriguez delivering a severe blow. There was a little bit of momentum. It might have been enough. Oh, they're going to give him the first down.
They got a good
Straight
spot
up.
there. That was a good spot.
Oh, he got a great spot. I almost didn't understand it, Dave.
Yeah, it looked like he was stopped right there at the 35-yard line. I didn't see 32 out of that at all.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that 2 or 3 inches that was required. So McBride gets the first down. Yeah, I think a lot of people here are baffled by that spot. First down and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 37-yard line. Backs it an eye. Under center is Schneider. Looks like there was some movement. No whistle. Handoff on the counter, and a big loss. Rosenbrock makes the tackle on Kimball. As Tate Kimball had no chance there, thrown for a loss at the 33-yard line, second down and 14.
Yeah, Tate's got 4 carries for -9 yards now, and that was a broken play, it looked like, for Fort Morgan, didn't it? It looked like maybe Snyder rotated the wrong way, or maybe Kimball didn't head off the right way. Anyway, there was a delay in the backfield, and Kyle's just so fast, he was able to see that and shoot back there to make the tackle.
Second down and 14 for Fort Morgan at their own 33-yard line. The Bee Diggers have scored 2 touchdowns already. Receiver split to the left and right. Schneider, play action, rolling to his left, has time, still rolling, throwing on the run. The pass is complete to Kimball right at the yard marker. Are they going to say it was incomplete? Yep, he was hit. Hard hit there by Nico Guzman. It was in his hands, but then apparently Guzman knocked it out as Kimball was coming to the ground, unless he actually held on to the football and he was not in bounds, Dave, but it looked like he was in bounds from this vantage point, but we're all the way across the field.
Yeah, he was going to come down short of it if he would have caught it, but Nico just busted him. You had it right. He just nailed him from behind and hit him as hard as he could. He was going out of bounds, and I'm sure he lost control of the ball.
Third down and 14 to go from their own 33-yard line. 2 receivers split each side. Out of a shotgun is Schneider with 1 setback. That's Tate Kimball to his right. Schneider has the football. 2-step drop. Throws deep up the left side. That pass is going to be caught at the 45-yard line. A diving reception over there for Kimball. I tell you, he's got some great hands. It's not a first down, though. He picks up 12 yards in a play, 4th down and 2. And that was a better catch than it was a throw.
Oh, it was a beautiful catch. 2 hands way up in the air. He had to jump and kind of come down backwards to make the play.
Looks like Fort Morgan's going to go for it, but Dave, if they don't pick this up, the Bee Diggers are going to have incredible field position with less than 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter and brush up 14-0.
Yeah, this is kind of unusual. Usually we're the gamblers.
Out of a shotgun, 4th and 2 from their own 45. Schneider rolling to his right, still rolling, throwing on the run, wide open. The pass is caught at the 50 into Bee Digger territory at the 40-yard line. That's Eric Kimball. It's a gain of 15 and a Mustang first down.
So 27 yards for Kimball now. I'll tell you what, they found a way to get open over there. Our strong safety's having a hard time getting out there to cover that pass in the flats.
Just inside the 40 at the 39 for the Mustangs. First down and 10. They've got trips to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Schneider out of a shotgun. Long count. Has the football. 2-step drop. Throwing left side. The pass is incomplete. Some miscommunication there as Alec Peterson was closer to the football than the intended receiver Kyle Daniels. Second down and 10 to go for the Mustangs. And this will be play number 10 coming up in the drive.
Yeah, that was easy, 5 yards short. It wasn't even close to the receiver.
Well, I think he was a little bit cognizant about not throwing another interception as he did earlier in the game when Kyle Rosenbrock picked off Schneider.
Yeah.
Second down and 10 with the ball at the Brush 40-yard line. 2:16 to go in the opening quarter. Brush 14, Fort Morgan nothing. 2 receivers split each side. And Schneider again with a 3-step drop this time. He's got some pressure coming. Throws it off his back foot. Incomplete. Nearly picked off by Alec Peterson along the far sideline, the left sideline, intended for Kyle Daniels, and Schneider had to get rid of it right there. If not, he would have been crunched and crushed.
Yeah, he's thrown over there to the left side. That's tough for a right-handed quarterback to do. The ball just come up short, and that's a long ways to throw it. The ball starting out on the right hash mark. They're throwing it clear to the sideline over on the other side.
Brings up third down.
Well, Dave, they've thrown 5 consecutive passes. Only 2 have been complete, but those 2 continued the drive. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. This time Schneider's under center on 3rd and 10 for the Beet Digger 40. Schneider is going to hand it off on the draw to Kemble. Tries to break out of a tackle and does not. Has maybe a yard. The Beet Diggers read that, pretty well.
Brought down by
Omar Fierro made the play. It's a gain of 1. 4th and 9 to go for Fort Morgan.
very little gain on the play.
Yeah, that defensive line, those guys are all instructed to make sure they cross the face of that blocker. They all did a good job of holding their ground. They had their hands on them out in front of them. They weren't letting the blockers get into their body, and boy, they just float off some of the blocks and help close the hole.
They're going to do it again. They're going for it. 4th and just a shade under 10 yards. Trips to the right, 1 to the left on 4th down. They need 9+ yards. Schneider in the shotgun. Back to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. Deep up the left side. That pass is going to be caught inside the 5. Down to the goal line. There was a Beet Digger out there, but an incredible play made by Tate Kimball. On 4th down and nearly 10, they got to the 2. It's a gain of 37. 1st and goal for Fort Morgan.
Just a beautiful catch and a beautiful throw. You know, our defender, Nico, he got out there. He was going to make the play on it. He finally went back to the ball. He went to make a play on the ball, but just didn't quite have enough height to bring it down.
It looked like a jump ball. Now the Mustangs are knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 2. And there was movement there. Handoff on the right side to Kemble, but a Mustang in the backfield moved. It'll be 1st and goal now from the 7. Dave, they've converted twice on 4th down here. Very impressive.
I'll tell you what, that's gutsy. You know, that it's awful early in the game. You know, if they don't convert, Brush puts them away, you know.
Now the ball will be placed at the 7-yard line.
5-yard penalty makes it 2nd correction, 1st and goal.
They could still hand off here since they've got 4 plays to work with. You know that. 1st and goal, Schneider under center. This time he's going to pitch it right, and that is Kemble swinging it to the outside, and he's shirt-tailed down. Looked like maybe at about the 6-yard line. Arnoldo Matos Garcia made the tackle. Do they even give him a yard? They do. 2nd and goal from the 6. That might have been the final play of the opening quarter. As the clock ticks inside of 25 seconds, they'll probably get one more play off. Although they can let the quarter run out. They don't have to run a play because the play clock has more time than the game clock. 2nd down and goal from the 6. 5 seconds to go. They're up to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, Schneider. Play action, looking to throw to his right. Incomplete, dropped by McBride. He was open. He dropped it right at the goal line. Would have been a touchdown. 3rd down and goal at the 6. That's the end of the opening quarter with the score. Brush 14, Fort Morgan nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. A masterful drive put together so far by the Mustangs. They trail the Beet Diggers 14-0. But coming up on the 15th play of the drive, they've had 2 successful 4th down conversions. They're at the Beet Diggers 6-yard line. And they might be in a position to have to convert another 4th down unless they attempt a field goal if they do not get into the end zone on this play.
They're in their power eye. It looks like they're going to try to shove it right at us.
3rd down and goal from the 6. Schneider under center. Is going to hand it off on the right side to Eric Kimball. He breaks it back to the inside after cutting it to the outside. A flag is down, carrying the pile inside the 3-yard line, maybe to the 2. Now let's see what the flag is all about. Holding against Fort Morgan. Well, you could decline. They're spotting the football at the 4. Dave, do you decline and make it 4th and goal from the 4, or do you take them back a little bit? And it looks like they're going to take the penalty.
Yeah, you got to think just high school football, just get them as far away from the goal line as you possibly can and then take your chances. But the way Snyder's throwing the ball, this gives him a little bit more room.
And the B-Diggers really don't blitz. They play straight-up defense. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 14. 2 receivers split each side, and this time, of course, Schneider's in a shotgun. On 3rd down, Schneider, 3-step drop, all the time in the world, throws it up the right side. Man is out there, and it is going to be incomplete. Deep in the back of the end zone there. Intended for Isaiah Lopez, but it was clearly overthrown, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, 2 or 3 yards overthrown. But some nice touch on the ball.
16th play of the drive. It would be about a 31-yard field goal, but it looks like Fort Morgan. No, they're going to kick that field goal. Franny Gonzalez to attempt the field goal. Be about 30 yards away based on where they're spotting that tee. Off the hold of Joey Schneider. There's a snap. It's down. The kick is up. It is deep enough, and it is good. A 30-yard field goal by Franny Gonzalez. 11:35 to go. Second quarter. Brush 14, Fort Morgan 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. A 30-yard field goal by Franny Gonzalez has Fort Morgan on the board. 14-3. There's the kickoff. It's going to be a short one, fielded by Rosenbrock at the 10. Running straight ahead to the 15 to the 20, looking for a seam. Breaks out of 2 tackles across the 30 to about the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. As the play was made over there by Dalen Knapp. Dave, but what a drive for the Mustangs there. They got all the way down to the 4-yard line. But that was a 16-play drive in 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Ball control for Fort Morgan.
Some impressive passing. Holy cow. 10 passes now, 70 yards. Completed 3 out of 10.
From the 31. Third drive for the B-Diggers. They've scored in the first 2. Rosenbrock in a shotgun. Guzman in motion to the left. And it's going to be a handoff to Guzman, cutting it back to the inside across the 35. A flag is down to about the 40. Could be a hold against the B-Diggers. Picks up close to 9 yards in a play, but it looks like David's coming back.
Yep, that's thrown back there in holding territory, and it sure is.
Yep, so now let's see what the B-Diggers pull out of the hat, since they've only thrown 1 pass so far. And when you're in this hole, you don't necessarily have to throw a pass, but now you're looking at first down from the 21, 1st and 20 to go for Brush.
Our first big penalty of the game. But the kids are still coming off the ball. I really think the Diggers are controlling the line of scrimmage, getting a good surge every time.
Yeah, they've only had a couple of negative plays. First down and 20 for the B-Diggers at their own 21-yard line. Rosenbrock out of a shotgun. Sends a man in motion to the right. That's Guzman. Has the football. Rosenbrock takes off right up the middle across the 25, and then he's dragged around the middle of the waist there. And across the 25 to the 27 as Austin Cosman made the hit. It's a gain of 6. Second down and 14 to go for Brush.
28 yards now for Rosenbrock on 4 carries.
He'll take that. And he's got a 4-yard touchdown run. Mikey Gutierrez with a 21-yard run in the opening drive of 2014. We've got 10:28 to go, second quarter. Brush 14 and Fort Morgan 3. AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado. When you need ice, don't just settle for any old frozen water. Get AC Ice. Second down and 14 from the 27. Man in motion to the right. Rosenbrock looks to throw. Deep up the middle. The pass is incomplete and tattooed over there. And a late hit as Clay Shaver had his helmet taken off. And there are 2 flags. That'll be a late hit against the Mustangs, Dave.
Yeah, he went up in the air to catch the ball, and they did. They just peppered him late and knocked Clay's helmet way off. But that just shows what a tough player Clay is. He just went over, picked up his helmet, came over on the sideline, and the coaches over here will make sure that he gets checked out and make sure that he's healthy.
And he should have made that catch. That was a perfect throw from Rosenbrock. He didn't look it in, but luckily the Bee Diggers got a huge break. So this will be a personal foul. And remember what happened in the fourth quarter last year when the Bee Diggers ended up winning that game by 8. The Mustangs destroyed themselves with 3 personal foul penalties.
Yep, and this is one of the same that we looked at that time. But, historically, that's been one of the things the Mustangs have is a real aggressive, ferocious sort of a defense.
That should place the football at the 42. The personal foul is because it was a blow to the head. So not a late hit, just a blow to the head. And there's a difference. So the Bee Diggers now have the football at the 42.5.
First down for your Bee Diggers.
On their third drive of the game.
Ball spotted at the 43.
The official spot is just shy of the 43. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. Kyle Rosenbrock is out of a shotgun. Sending Guzman in motion to the left. And this will be a handoff right up the middle. And Mikey Gutierrez is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He was drilled by 2 Mustangs, including Jacob Fritzler, a junior linebacker. It'll be second down, and let's see are they going to backtrack it at all? Or is there another stoppage in play for some reason? Now they spot the football. We'll call it second down and a long 10. No gain there for Gutierrez, who hasn't had the football much in this game so far.
No, not much. Really, the Rosenbrock's the guy. He's out of the 11 plays I think they've had, he's had it 6 times.
It is second down and 10 to go for the Bee Diggers at their own 43-yard line. Leading by 11 inside of 9.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Rosenbrock in a shotgun. There's the snap. Rosenbrock will hand it off, and there's going to be a loss again. Nothing doing over there for Conrad Cole. There were 3 Mustangs in on the play. Loss of 2. Toby McBride is very difficult to handle. He was the first Mustang in on the play. It'll be third down and 12 to go for Brush.
Yeah, the Mustangs starting to zero in on that option look, causing the Diggers to have a few fits, just trying to figure out who they got to block.
Well, when you cheat up to the line of scrimmage, that usually opens up the pass, Dave.
That's absolutely right.
Bee Diggers taking their time here. They might have to take a second timeout, and Randy Dreitz does that. Brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call. 842-4555. Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. The Bee Diggers got on the board on Mikey Gutierrez's 21-yard run. And then it was 14-0 after the Bee Diggers had the extra point blocked when Kyle Rosenbrock scored from 4 yards away, and Arnoldo Matos Garcia ran it in on the 2-point conversion. But then Fort Morgan put together a 16-play drive, got down to the Bee Digger 4, had to settle for a 30-yard field goal after a holding penalty from Franny Gonzalez. He didn't commit the holding penalty, he nailed the field goal. And that's where we stand right now with 8:31 to go before the break in the regular season opener. Of course, the Bee Diggers will be here the first 3 weeks of the season, Dave. A nice luxury. But they'll pay the price in week 4, a Saturday afternoon game on September 20th at Lamar.
It's a trick. I remember the last time we went down there, you and I got pulled over by Barney Fife. Remember that?
That would be in the 03 playoffs. But the Bee Diggers won the game, so that was a good thing.
I was wishing you were driving that time.
Trips to the left. Rosenbrock under center. Third down and 12 from their own 41. Back to throw. A deep drop for Rosenbrock. Getting pressured. And he slips out of a tackle. Cuts it back to the inside. And then he's dragged down back towards the original line of scrimmage at the 42. They're going to say his knee was down. A gain of only 1 as the hit was made by Austin Cosman. Fourth down and 11. The Bee Diggers undoubtedly will punt.
But the fact that he turned that into a 1-yard gain is remarkable because he was held up twice in the backfield.
Yeah, he could have easily been sacked. Kyle Daniels back deep to receive along with Tate Kemble.
Back deep for the Mustangs, number 11, Kyle Daniels.
Got to love that of your Fort Morgan, a junior and a sophomore back there with lots of talent. Rosenbrock awaiting the snap. Play clock inside of 5 seconds. Got to get that snap off. And they barely do. Rosenbrock gets that ball off a fluttering line drive over the head of Daniels. Ball rolling towards the end zone. He better let it go, and he does. That was a mistake almost by Kyle Daniels. I have no idea what he was thinking, running towards the football, and he nearly picked it up at the goal line. But it's a touchback, and Fort Morgan will have it at the 20. Were you wondering what he was doing, Dave? Because I certainly was.
I'll tell you what, he took a gamble there because the ball only rolled into the end zone maybe a couple of feet. There wasn't a whole lot of inertia to get it through those final steps, and he was standing there like he was getting ready to pick it up if he had to.
And he's a smart player, but he almost made a critical mistake. And remember how special teams has played a huge role the last couple of seasons. So Fort Morgan has it, trailing 14-3, 7:24 to go in the second quarter. Here from Beat Digger Stadium. Again, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. 1010 KSIR Sports on Facebook. KSIR Sports is our Twitter handle. That's at KSIR Sports. 1st and 10 from the 20. The backs are split. Schneider's going to hand it off to the front man there, and there's a gain of about 1. Actually, no front man since they were side to side, and that is McBride. Check that. That's Fritzler. Jacob Fritzler has his first carry of the game, and it's a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
So I'm kind of shocked. I thought the Mustangs had come out and really try to power the ball out of that power eye with McBride and his size and Fritzler both, but they've really been trying a lot of outside runs, and the Diggers were doing a good job of shutting that down. Maybe they're going to come back and try to run some power at us.
From his outside linebacker position, Mikey Gutierrez made the tackle. 2nd down and 9 from the 21. 2 receivers split each side. Schneider is in a shotgun. Back to throw. Looks, plenty of time. Deep up the right side. There's a man out there, but it's way incomplete. He threw it over the Mustang bench, and it looked like one of the Beat Diggers defenders had overrun the play a little bit. 3rd down and 9 to go. I'm not sure who that ball was intended for out there. Might have been Daniels, but no, he was on the other side.
That ball
Eric
landed
Kemble
clear on the track. It wasn't close to anybody, and it was 10 yards behind his receiver.
Well, Fort Morgan's been pretty successful here on these 3rd downs and even more so on the 4th downs. 3rd and 9 from their own 21. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Schneider looking towards the middle. He's getting pressured. He's going to be sacked. Thrown down at the 20-yard line. The sack over there by Joe Carwin, the 6'1", 255-pound senior. It's a loss of 1, 4th and 10, and Fort Morgan will have to punt. And that time the Beat Diggers did an excellent job of collapsing that pocket.
They sure did. Carwin just did a good job of fighting there in the middle and keeping his hand fighting. He didn't turn his back on him. He didn't try to roll out of the block. He just kept fighting forward and finally crossed his face and made the tackle. When Snyder left the pocket, that was really the worst thing he could have done.
Looks like Tate Kemble is going to punt, standing at his own 8-yard line. Nico Guzman back deep to receive. We have movement. If it's against brush, it's still not a 1st down. That will be illegal procedure against Fort Morgan. And now Kemble will be standing inside his 5-yard line awaiting the snap, and the Beat Diggers are going to get outstanding field position here.
Well, they have a good pump block scheme. Remember a couple of years ago, they went for the block almost every single time, and they were pretty successful, at least with hurrying people up.
5:52 to go, second quarter. Brush 14, Fort Morgan 3. There was movement, high snap, no whistle, and a high fluttering punt. It's going to drop at the 50-yard line, take a Mustang roll inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line. That was outstanding by Tate Kemble. A punt of 50 yards.
It was actually tipped. We ran into the kicker, but there was a tip there a little bit, and that caused the ball to not fly right. That's one of the things the Diggers will have to work on as we go through the seasons, make sure we field the ball and not let it roll that far.
So the football's at the 35-yard line. 1st down and 10 to go. for the Bee Diggers. Up by 11. They'd like to make it more here. Plenty of time to go before the break inside of 6 minutes. Two receivers split out to the left, one to the right. Rosenbrock is in a shotgun formation. On first down, Rosenbrock will keep the football himself, but he's not going to slip out of a tackle. He is thrown for a loss. Again, Toby McBride in the backfield. And Jacob Fritzler make the play. Second down and 13. Fritzler's been all over the field. In fact, I think I mistook McBride for Fritzler again. It's second down and 13 from that 32-yard line.
Yeah, Fritzler just reached out with one hand and really kind of shirt tackled him. But that just showed how strong he was, because Kyle's a big, strong kid.
Well, McBride was actually there as well, so it was a combination. But Fritzler had more of Rosenbrock's body than McBride did. Second down and 13 from their own 32-yard line. Rosenbrock out of a shotgun. Low snap, back to throw, setting up a screen to his left. The pass is dropped by Gutierrez, and he didn't have much running room at the 27-yard line because waiting for him was Eric Kimball. Third down and 13, and Fort Morgan has played some excellent defense these first two plays.
Yeah, they're really putting their scheme together and getting into a rhythm over there on the defense. And I was watching the linebackers that time, actually Fritzler, and he was dropping back into his zone, and boy, he flew right over there to try to help make the tackle had Mikey caught the ball. If Mikey would have caught it, I don't know if he would have had much room.
No, there was nothing there for him. Third down, that's why he dropped it. He was looking ahead as the ball was flying into his arms. Two receivers split each side. Again, Rosenbrock is in a shotgun from their own 32. They might send a blitz here. Rosenbrock back to throw. There comes the blitz. Rosenbrock runs out of it to the 35. Back towards the right to the 40. Looking for a seam at the 45. First down at midfield. Along the sideline. He might have stepped out of bounds. He did. But Rosenbrock picks up a first down at the 44-yard line of Fort Morgan. There's a Mustang hurt on the play. Outstanding read there by Kyle Rosenbrock. And it's a gain of 24. And the Mustang on the field is Alex Mai, a junior. But, Dave, what awareness there. Rosenbrock saw that blitz coming.
Yeah, you know, they sent their linebacker on this side. It was Fritzler, actually, and they sent him between the guard and the tackle. So when he ran up in through there was really no outside containment. Rosenbrock didn't roll outside automatically. He actually ran up the middle and then cut it to the outside. There was just nobody left out there to make the tackle since everybody else was charging full forge ahead.
Well, the bottom line, Dave, is that, as you well know, you blitz and you miss and you get burned.
Yep, you're going to pay. Rosenbrock, boy, I'll tell you what, if anybody had a question if he's lost a step, you know, gaining a little size and a little weight, he hasn't. He did a great job. He ran it over here, and he sees the field so well. You know, once he got down the sideline, a lot of guys would have just tried to keep running down the sideline, but he started cutting that thing back, just one defensive player at a time.
First and 10 for the Bee Diggers, with the ball resting at the Fort Morgan 44. Leading 14-3 with 4:37 to go before halftime. And the Bee Diggers have run very few plays under center. This is unlike any other brush formation we've seen over the last few decades. Nico Guzman, the receiver to the right, but they're taking advantage of their highly skilled position players. Two to the left. Rosenbrock out of the shotgun as the Mustangs moved, and McBride crossed the line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 5 for Brush. Now at the 39-yard line of Fort Morgan.
You know, Kyle's done a good job of that over the last years, hasn't he? Doing a good job of noticing when guys were starting to get over anxious up there on the line of scrimmage, and he makes the call on those.
And it takes all 11 to remain disciplined. From the 39, 1st and 5. Rosenbrock in the shotgun. Drops the football, picks it up, back to throw, throws off his back foot. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That play was a mess from the beginning. Knocked down, I believe, by McBride. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, he got peppered over there. Our running back missed the block on that linebacker, and he just put his shoulder pad right in Rosenbrock's ribs.
I think the Bee Diggers lost a few inches on the incomplete pass. Now that football's barely inside the 35. 2nd down and 5 to go for Brush. And you want to use up some clock here because Fort Morgan does receive the second half kickoff. And with the Bee Diggers up by 11, they could take a 3-score lead if they get into the end zone. Guzman is out to the left. 2 receivers to the right. Gutierrez is the setback behind Rosenbrock. In motion to the left is Peterson. And the handoff is to Peterson, running wide to the left. Has a seam to the outside along the sideline. He's got a first down. Knocked out of bounds inside the 35 to about the 32. And it's a first down and a gain of about 7 for Alec Peterson. Tate Kimball made the tackle.
Tell you what, Peterson, now that he's up to that 170 pounds, he's a different force than he was when he was a 140-pounder. Because he's still got the speed, and you could see he beat him all the way to the sideline. Then when he turned it upfield, he's got the ability to lower his shoulder and break tackles and run over people.
That did stop the clock. In high school football, they don't restart the clock until the next play commences, unlike college football and the pros. 1st and 10 for Brush at the Mustang 32-yard line. Man in motion to the right. That's Peterson. Rosenbrock will take the football right up the middle, inside the 30 to the 25, and he dives towards the 20-yard line. He's got a Bee Digger first down before that tackle was made. First man in on the hit was Isaiah Lopez. Very close to that first down. I think he's got it. Looks like it's spotted at the 21. It would be a gain of 11. That's obviously a first down for Brush.
Yeah, 61 yards for Rosenbrock now on 8 carries.
And the Bee Diggers can run a couple more plays, maybe about 3 or 4 more plays. They could wear down that Mustang defense and, again, chew up some time. From the 21, first down and 10 for Brush. Snap to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock is going to hand it off right up the gut and spinning inside. No, Rosenbrock keeps the football. Boy, Gutierrez was tackled, but Rosenbrock kept it along the left sideline inside the 10 to about the 5. Dave, I think the Bee Digger fans were even fooled. I didn't hear much emotion from the crowd.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was just that option they've been running this whole game. And, Kyle's just doing a really good job in that mesh with Mikey. Mikey makes a good fake, acts like he's still got the ball, and Kyle pulls it out and just runs right around the corner. And Fort Morgan was stopping that on the last drive, but this drive, boy, they struggled that time.
It's a gain of 16 for Kyle Rosenbrock. I mean, it's like a play wasn't even being run. I heard no emotion from the crowd because they thought Gutierrez had the football as well.
It is kind of weird. It's a quiet crowd compared to what we usually have at a Morgan Brush game, isn't it? Pretty
Maltos
quiet.
Garcia is under center. First and goal from the 5. Guzman in motion to the right. The handoff right up the gut to Gutierrez. Dives for the end zone. And that is a touchdown for Mikey G from 5 yards away. His second touchdown of the game. And the Bee Diggers have opened up a 20-3 lead.
Ran over there behind Randy Woodard and Jose Rodriguez and Joe Carwin on the right side. And also Clay Shaver out there at the tight end. Those guys just did a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage and blowing those Mustangs back. But you got to believe with the change in the formation, a lot of the Mustangs were looking for Rosenbrock to get the ball. And off that fake 24-26, Rosenbrock's running over that way, and that had to have froze a linebacker.
All right, now the extra point to be attempted by Jaron Peterson. Off the hold of Maltos Garcia. The snap, the kick, it's up. That kick looks good from here, and it is. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining, second quarter. Brush 21, Fort Morgan 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Eight plays for the Bee Diggers. Mikey Gutierrez scores from 5 yards away as the Bee Diggers traveled 65 yards. And they did it in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Very short kick here, fielded by one of the up men at the 22-yard line, and slipping and then falling to the 30-yard line is Dalen Knapp, I should say. As the tackle was made by Randy Woodward, and Fort Morgan will have the football with 3:25 to go before the break, trailing 21-3 after Mikey Gutierrez scored his second touchdown of the game.
The offense of the Diggers is just so unpredictable. You know, they spread everybody out, and they run that option, that read option, and then all of a sudden they get down by the goal line. They put a different quarterback underneath there. They're confident in Garcia, Maltos Garcia taking the snap. Everybody thinks Rosenbrock's going to get it, and they give it to Gutierrez.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Schneider in a shotgun. Back to throw. Quick drop. Throws to his left. The pass is going to be. Is it intercepted by Gutierrez? He's got the football. And incomplete. Apparently the back officials saw the ball hit the ground. Intended for Kyle Daniels, but Gutierrez made an excellent play on the ball. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it was just a great play. Didn't get the INT, but I'll tell you what, we'll take anytime we get a block, put them 2nd down and 10, we'll take it.
With 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan, Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. 2nd down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 30-yard line, down by 18 in the waning minutes here of the 2nd quarter in Brush. Out of the shotgun, Schneider back to throw, pressure coming up the middle. He's sacked, thrown down to the ground by Clay Shaver.
Yeah, the Diggers blitzed Aaron Williams over there, our left linebacker, or outside linebacker on that side out of this 4-3 defense, and I think that made their tackle have to step down and pick him up, left Shaver free. And, geez, Shaver's got such long arms. You know, he wrapped him up. He had his arms wrapped all the way around him. There was no way Schneider could break that.
3rd down and 17, a loss of 7 for the Mustangs. Well, if they stop them here, Brush will have an opportunity to score again before halftime. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 3rd and 17 from the 23. Schneider under center, throwing out to his right, tipped to the line of scrimmage by Shaver. Intended along the far side for Isaiah Lopez. 4th down. What an excellent sequence of plays by Shaver.
You know, he's one of those guys that now that he's getting a lot of varsity looks, and he's a big kid, and he's super duper smart, I'll tell you what, it's going to be exciting to see how much he grows. He's going to get a lot better fast.
Well, last time, Tate Kemble put together a 50-yard punt with a roll. Let's see if Nico Guzman makes any adjustment. Nothing he could have done with that 50-yard punt. The B-Diggers, they're bringing it. They've got 10 on the line of scrimmage. Awaiting the snap. It's a low one. Here comes the pressure. He gets it off. Nice left-footed boot. It'll drop at the 50-yard line. Take that same roll inside the 40 to the 39. So that punt went for 38 yards. And the B-Diggers, again, will have to work for it. They've got 1 timeout remaining with 2:22 to go before halftime.
Yeah, that's just tough when you can't field it. But, you know, Nico was standing probably 15 yards further back from where the ball landed. And they had their headhunter that was coming down the field. He was right there. Nico didn't have enough room to go up there and pick the ball up.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 39-yard line, leading 21-3. They scored early, and that put the Mustangs in a hole. Maltos Garcia is under center. And the B-Diggers are going to be called for a penalty. I believe there's 12 on the field.
They had a bunch of guys in the huddle, and then right before they got the timeout called, huh?
Well, is it a timeout or a penalty? You got 2 different signals. And it is a timeout, the final timeout. Brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance, 842-4555. Now the clock will continue to roll unless there's an incomplete pass or a B-Digger goes out of bounds. So they'll have to be careful with the clock. But, again, with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go before halftime, no reason to panic and rush, especially with a sizable advantage on the scoreboard.
They have the athletes. You know, it doesn't take that long to run 60 yards. They got some fast guys.
You're right.
We've seen that already. And Rosenbrock just about broke one a little bit ago when Fort Morgan started blitzing, and they have to feel a little bit desperate on defense. If they just sit back and let Brush run the ball, they're going to be in trouble. So they got to send people, and that's just going to open opportunities for the Diggers.
1st and 10 for the B-Diggers at their own 39-yard line following their 3rd and final timeout. Mikey Gutierrez has scored twice, Kyle Rosenbrock once. And the result is a 21-3 Brush advantage. Peterson is the receiver to the left. Maltos Garcia once again is under center. Under center. Maltos Garcia will hand it off on the left side and a yard. And that's Aaron Williams with a gain to the 40. Well, the clock was stopped at Fort Morgan. Take a timeout. 2nd down and 9 to go. Oh, okay, I didn't see the flag. There's one resting somewhere. I do not see where the flag was thrown, Dave.
You know, it's just tough to see out there. The grass, I'll tell you what, Coach Quinlan's got the grass and the field and everything looking just amazing, especially with all the rain that we've had.
Illegal procedure against the Bee Diggers. Or illegal formation, actually.
Well, they're in a 100 formation, double tight with the wide receiver over on the left side. Must have had a guy not up on the line of scrimmage far enough.
Exactly. Yeah, that's an illegal formation.
Or the wide out was on the line of scrimmage, one of the two.
It'll draw them back to the 34. 1st and 15 to go for Brush. Yeah, I don't know if Fort Morgan will be using their timeouts here. Maybe if it gets to a 4th down. Maltos Garcia under center on 1st down and 15 from their own 34. Play action, rolling to his right, looking to throw. Pressure coming, and he's going to be thrown down. It looked like he was grabbed around the helmet. He was. There's going to be a flag, a face mask. Toby McBride with a sack, but he grabbed Maltos Garcia's face mask, and he threw him down extremely hard at the 23-yard line, a loss of close to 11, but that's all for naught.
Yeah, McBride's got his hands up. He's wondering what happened, but basically it just boils down to it. When he wrapped him up, he wrapped him up around his helmet. You can't tackle a guy by his head.
Now let's see where the football is going to be placed at. Should be spotted the foul, so the Bee Diggers they're going to get the yardage back to the original line of scrimmage, it looks like. Just shy of the 40. So it'll be 1st down and 10 to go for the Bee Diggers at their own 40-yard line. They got a big break there because it would have been, 2nd and 26, and instead, 1st and 10. Clock remains at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Brush 21, Fort Morgan 3. We're in the 2nd quarter. This is 10-10 KSIR. Brush, Fort Morgan, Greeley. John Beltran with Dave Urig from Bee Digger Stadium. Opening game of the 2014 regular season. Going to call it 1st and 9. There's the handoff right up the middle to Aaron Williams. He's got 3 yards to the 43. Jacob Fritzler again in on the play, along with Bladen Pollitt, a senior linebacker. So that'll be 2nd down and 6. So it's not an automatic 1st down.
Diggers just walking up the line of scrimmage. They're just not in a real big hurry. I don't think there's a lot of urgency to put one more score up on the board.
Yeah, unless they put together a huge play. Down to 1:23 to go. 2nd down and 6. There was movement by the Mustangs. That'll place the football at the 48. That'll set up a 2nd and 1. Dave, that might change Brush's strategy. You look at penalties here in the opening half, and the Mustangs have made a lot more mistakes than the Bee Diggers.
Yeah, they have. Well, they have 3 personal fouls right off the top, and that's not good. Not in the opening game. But I don't know. The Diggers don't have Rosenbrock out there, so looks like they're content to give him a rest.
2nd down and 1 from the 48-yard line. Rosenbrock will be in there, though. They pull off a huge play. Maltos Garcia handoff right up the middle, and a 1st down, it looks like, to the 49. Clock will stop. And that was to Mikey Gutierrez. He's fast, but once they grab a hold of him, especially when you got 2 guys there, gain of 2 officially. 1st down and 10 from midfield, and they were able to bring him down.
He's got 28 yards on 5 carries, so a little over a 5-yard per carry average. That's not too shabby.
Kyle Rosenbrock is back in the game with 57 seconds to go. 1st down and 10 from midfield. Clay Shaver is going to line up as a receiver to the right along with Peterson. Awaiting the snap and a shotgun is Rosenbrock. Two-step drop, looking to throw. Heaves it up the left sideline. That pass is going to be incomplete. Falling short of the target, Guzman. Extremely well defended over there by Eric Flughoft. With 39 seconds to go, second down and 10.
So Rosenbrock 2 for 6 now, 33 yards.
Number 29, Eric Flughoft.
Do they throw it again?
No, you almost have to,
Well,
Don't have any timeouts.
we've seen the Bee Diggers in past years out of this situation either run a screen or even more effective, a draw.
Yep, they're the masters at running that draw. And Rosenbrock's seen they'd like to run that quarterback draw. They've already done that a couple times, so you're right. You got a gun like him, you just need the ball in his hands. Something's going to happen.
Absolutely. Second down and 10 from midfield. Again in a shotgun. Kyle Rosenbrock. Play action, looking to throw underneath. The pass is caught by Shaver at the 44. First down across the 40 towards the sideline to the 37. And it's a gain of 13 yards. Justin Pineda made the tackle for Fort Morgan.
He just kind of had to he was getting a lot of pressure, and you saw Rosenbrock just kind of throw it with his elbow. He didn't really cock the ball back behind his head. It was out in front of him. He just kind of dinked it over the top to Shaver. And Shaver couldn't get a stiff arm out there to pick up a couple more yards, but he did a good job catching it and getting the first down.
On first and 10 from the 37. Clock running, 25 seconds to go. Rosenbrock sits in the pocket. Deep up the left side. That pass is going to be caught! What a play! A nice adjustment over there by Cameron Alexander. Holy Mahungus, first and goal for the Beat Diggers. He just threw it up for grabs. And a nice adjustment there by Alexander, a gain of 28.
Well, he had to fight for position there. You saw him have to come around the backside. It's not like he could dodge on the inside to get position. Just a great play there by Cameron.
15 seconds to go. Clock running. First and goal from the 8. Rosenbrock throws it into the ground. He spikes the football. That was obviously the smart play there.
74 yards now for Rosenbrock. 4 for 8. But again, Alexander, he was running on the outside. He was going down the sideline. The Morgan defender was on the inside. And a lot of times you'll see the receiver kind of drop back behind and then come back up on the inside. But he ran all the way around the outside of the receiver and got position on it to make the play.
Official line of scrimmage is the 9. Second and goal. You got to throw here. Or run out of bounds. 11 and a half seconds to go. If the play ends up in bounds, the clock will run out. So Brush has got to be smart with this one. Matos Garcia is under center. Nope, check that. Nope, Rosenbrock in a shotgun. With the football, back to throw. Heaves it up the right side. That pass is caught! Touchdown! Touchdown to Nico Guzman. He beat the defender. And the Beat Diggers with 7.6 seconds to go lead 27-3. That pass from 9 yards away.
Just a great catch there by Nico, wasn't it? Over his shoulder. It wasn't one of those really easy catches that was out in front of him, and he had to let the ball come over the top of him. And Kyle did a good job of putting some touch on it, but we got to give some credit to that offensive line. Holy cow, Woodard and Rodriguez and Carwin and Barraza and Fierro over there, they're giving Rosenbrock all the time he needs to throw the ball.
You know the key was, Dave? One-on-one coverage. And he lofted it beautifully.
And Nico beat him. He just had him beat.
Extra point by Jaron Peterson off the hold of Matos Garcia. The snap is perfect. The kick is up. That kick is good. 7.6 seconds to go. We'll keep it right here because we've got maybe 2 plays left here before the halftime break, but that was a killer as far as Fort Morgan's concerned, Dave. They thought down 21-3, you got a shot. But now trailing 28-3 at the break, that one's got to hurt Fort Morgan.
Yep, that one's really painful. But I want to go back to Alexander again. He is such a good kid, and he's worked so hard. And boy, it's just neat that he's getting his shot at senior year. Makes a great play like that his first game of the season. Good for Cameron.
Yeah, that set it all up. In fact, the drive was 7 plays, 61 yards. And the Beat Diggers did it in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And a 9-yard pass thrown by Rosenbrock. Now let's see what they do with this kickoff here. as Rosenbrock will kick it off. He'll just squib it. And the ball is loose. It's picked up at the 32. Running across the 35 to the 38-yard line is Isaiah Lopez. 2.5 seconds to go. So there'll be one shot here for Fort Morgan, but I don't think you're going to do anything too risky. It's Randy Woodward made the tackle. Dave, I'm telling you, the Mustangs are stunned here. After last year's result, I think they figured, well, this is going to be a pretty good game here in 2014, but instead the Bead Diggers have dominated on their home field. So up to the line of scrimmage of the Mustangs at their own 38-yard line. Schneider's in a shotgun. This will be the last play of the half unless there's a defensive penalty. Looking to throw. Tries to work out of pressure. He is going to be sacked back at the 35-yard line. And the first man in on the hit was Randy Woodward. It's a loss of 3. And that is the break. We're at halftime with the score. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3 as we head to the third quarter at Bead Digger Stadium. John Beltran along with Dave Urig. The Mustangs will have the second half kickoff as the Bead Diggers have 2 touchdown runs from Mikey Gutierrez, 1 from Kyle Rosenbrock, and Rosenbrock has a touchdown pass as well to Nico Guzman from 9 yards away with 7.6 seconds to go. And Dave, what were we saying up to that time? We're just content on running the clock out. The ball's in Brush territory, but a big penalty. Then a huge catch there by Cameron Alexander, and all of a sudden they were in business. And again, those are 2 momentum turners. Fort Morgan not scoring a touchdown early in that second quarter, and the Bead Diggers scoring a touchdown late in the second quarter.
Yep, and not to put too much, not take anything away from the other players of the Diggers, but Rosenbrock was out of the game. As soon as they put him back in the game, things happened, and he's a playmaker. And Brush is blessed to have him.
They always happen. Every time he's in there, they always happen, and special talent in his senior season, and he was making contributions during his freshman year in 2011. So here we go, Rosenbrock to kick it off.
Hey, props to Lainey Benendike. She's got her cheerleaders down there, the Brush cheerleaders going crazy and having a good time leading the crowd. And Coach Benendike doing a good job of getting them ready.
Yeah, she's done a tremendous job with all those cheerleaders. Rosenbrock runs to the football. Nice boot. Fairly deep at the 10. To the 15, Campbell to the 20. Cuts it back to the inside to the 30. He's got a seam down the middle to the 40. And he's going to be tackled by Rosenbrock across the 45 to the 47. A return of 37 yards for Tate Campbell. Excellent start to the second half for the Mustangs.
Boy, he turned on the afterburners there, didn't he? The Diggers kind of got out of their lanes a little bit and left a hole there up the middle for him to run through.
The Mustangs are looking for their first touchdown of this game, trailing 28-3. First and 10 at their own 47-yard line. One receiver to the left. Schneider's in a shotgun. Campbell the lone setback. There's the snap. Rolls to his right. Looking, stopping, throwing deep over the middle. That pass is incomplete. At the 15-yard line, Arnoldo Matos Garcia defended Eric Flughoft. It was overthrown. Second down and 10 to go for Fort Morgan.
Nico Guzman actually from his corner, once the ball was up in the air, he closed the distance in a hurry. He was probably the only player that could have made a play on it.
And Schneider's got a great arm, doesn't he?
Boy, he threw it a long ways. It was a nice spiral, too.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he chucked that a good 50 yards, and it looked pretty effortless. Second down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 47-yard line. 2 receivers flanked out to the right, including Eric Campbell. 2 to the left. Again, out of a shotgun is Schneider. Bead Diggers are bringing a blitz. Here comes the pressure. Up the middle, the pass is going to be incomplete. dropped by Kyle Daniels at the 38. And the Mustang coaches want a late hit. There was a hit delivered by one of the Bee Diggers.
Yeah, but they couldn't throw the flag on that because Nico didn't know if he dropped the ball or not. He'd already started attacking.
Well, and it wasn't a blow to the head either.
Right. Shoulder to shoulder.
3rd down and 10 to go, and that was a perfect throw.
And after that hit Nico gave him, he may not want to catch another one over there. So he pounded him pretty good.
Same formation for Fort Morgan. Schneider on 3rd and 10. 2-step drop. Looking to throw. Pressure coming. Steps out of it. Throws deep over the middle. The pass is complete to Kimball inside the 30 to the 25. Nico Guzman makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 28 and a first down on the pass from Joey Schneider to Eric Kimball.
So that takes him up to 98 yards passing. 15 attempts, completing 4 of those.
What a gorgeous throw, but he was wide open.
Yeah, our linebacker didn't drop far enough back into his hook zone there, and they just did a good job of finding that spot between our linebackers and our free safety.
1st and 10 from the Brush 25. Bee Diggers bringing a blitz once again, rolling to his left is Schneider. Now he throws off his back foot. That's going to be picked off, more than likely it is, by Cameron Alexander in the end zone. Terrible decision by Schneider. You could see that one coming. It was intended for Eric Flughoff. 2nd interception thrown by Schneider, and the Bee Diggers have the football at their own 20-yard line with 11:19 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, he had to roll to the left on that play, and so right-handed quarterback with a good arm, he rolls almost all the way to the sideline, but then he throws it back across the field, and that's pretty easy to read for those DBs.
1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 20-yard line. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3. Again, follow us at KSIR Sports on Twitter or on our Facebook page at 1010 KSIR Sports. Rosenbrock will operate out of the shotgun. There was movement on the left side of the offensive line. Rare mistake tonight for the Bee Diggers. A bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple is Morgan Federal Bank. When you need banking advice, stop by and see one of their loan officers Monday through Friday, 321 Ensign. Morgan Federal Bank, there's a difference. Member FDIC. And find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC is there to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Morgan Community College. 1st down and 15 from the 15. Rosenbrock in a shotgun will hand it off right up the middle. A nice gain for Gutierrez across the 20 to the 21. Grabbed around the ankles by Austin Cosman. And Kyle Daniels, it's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 9.
Sort of a delay look. The line did a good job of making that trap, opening that hole up the middle.
Tune in to 1010 Preps and More weekdays from 1 to 2 with yours truly on 1010 KSIR for the latest in high school sports. 2nd down and 9 from the 21. Rosenbrock out of a shotgun will keep the football, take it up the left side, across the 25 towards the sideline at the 30, and then he's driven out of bounds across the 30 to the 33 by Eric Kimball. It's a gain of 12 for Rosenbrock and a Bee Digger 1st down.
Maltos Garcia is the one that sprung that open, though. Did you see him make that block over there? And then I thought it was going to be a block in the back, but he just did a good job of getting his hands in front of him and then actually turning that Morgan defender around as he blocked him to keep him, and stay in front of him.
He's all brains, and he's got a lot of athletic ability, but Maltos Garcia is extremely intelligent. Gain of 12 there for Kyle Rosenbrock. 1st down and 10. The ball's just shy of the 33. 10:34 remaining 3rd quarter. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3 from Bee Digger Stadium. The lone setback is Mikey Gutierrez. Again in a shotgun. Rosenbrock will hand it off to Gutierrez. Wiggles his way across the 35 to the 37, looking for some running room. Jacob Fritzler was in on the play along with Austin Cosman. The gain is 3, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, the Diggers just really content just to work on running that read option, and that line's doing a good job of blocking. That time I watched Cookie Barraza fly over there and put a big hit on McBride.
And run some clock as well. 2nd down and 7 from the 36-yard line. B-Diggers play like this, they're going to 40-point some teams this year, even though the schedule is tough, so it won't be a lot of teams. From the 36, Rosenbrock will hand it off to Gutierrez. He's hit in the backfield for a loss of 1. And the play was made by Alex Mai, who was hurt earlier in the game. And Bladen Pollitt. It'll be 3rd down and 8 to go for Brush.
They blitz their outside linebacker on that play, and that's one of the things. If they're able to get in the backfield while you're still making that read, they can get an arm on, at least on the running back, and that kind of slows things down because Rosenbrock can't risk pulling the ball out of there when they're already in the backfield.
Dave, you're right. This is a fun offense to watch. This is not vanilla at all. I mean, vanilla can be very good, but this is a lot of fun. Spread them out, 2 to the right, 1 receiver to the left, 3rd and 8. Rosenbrock pressured. He's going to be thrown down for a sack. And that might have been another blitz. Thrown way back there by Richard Herrera, a senior linebacker, all the way to the 26-yard line. And that is a loss of 9. And it is 4th down and 17 to go for the B-Diggers.
So that drops Rosenbrock's average back to 90 yards on 11 carries.
Well, nothing he could do there.
Well, that's going to be something they'll have to work on. Now they know if the team's bringing some heat on defense, it's going to be tough running that offense. So they're going to have to, that offensive line's going to have to do a good job figuring out who's going to block who.
Yeah, well, if you call a play that counters that, it can work. But that time they just had no shot. Rosenbrock awaits the snap. It's there. The rush is coming. A spiraling punt that drops at the 42-yard line of Fort Morgan. Then the ball is picked up by Daniels, and he's down at the 45. Nice ankle tackle by Nico Guzman. And great hands there by Daniels because he took a chance. He was on the run when he fielded that football. And Fort Morgan has excellent field position.
There was a couple of diggers right there. That was actually kind of risky for Daniels to even get up there close to the ball because you don't know how it's going to bounce when you're that close to it.
But he's a baseball player.
That was a grounder.
Yeah, exactly. 32-yard punt for Rosenbrock. 1st and 10. The football at the 46. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop. Heading out of town. Stubbs Gas and Oil at Wiggins. Low prices and a lot of stuff there. The handoff right up the gut and back to the line of scrimmage, maybe half a yard. Toby McBride. B-Diggers had all types of penetration. Shaver, Rosenbrock, and Omar Fierro. It'll be 2nd down and 10. No gain officially.
Remember when you play teams like Akron that run that single wing and they have that short back up there really close to the line of scrimmage? That's what McBride looked like on that play. And Snyder tried to do an inside handoff, but it was just so crowded up there at the line of scrimmage, he couldn't get any room to run.
And Schneider's under center. Backs in an eye. 2nd and 10 for the 46. Schneider's back to throw a deep drop. Pressure coming. Heaves it up the right side, and that is going to be incomplete. It was thrown towards the inner portion of the field, but Cameron Alexander had position on Eric Kemble. Extremely well defended, and he turned around to make sure that pass interference would not be called. And it's 3rd down, and I believe that Alexander's got a cramp.
Or else he got landed on. Sometimes you can take a shot to the knee or to the shin bone.
7:19 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3. B-Digger scored 2 touchdowns in the opening 5.5 minutes of the game. Under center, Schneider again. No shotgun so far during this series. Play action. Rolling to his left. There's some holding there, but no whistle. And now Schneider sets up. There's a flag deep over the middle. Incomplete. Diving attempt by Eric Kemble at the 20-yard line, but off his hands. Yeah, there was a B-Digger being held all over the place. Personal foul. Face mask against Fort Morgan. What do you take that and make it 3rd and maybe more than 25 because the penalty was behind the line of scrimmage, or just 4th and 10. B-Diggers have to make that decision, and now we're looking at about 100 yards and penalties are close to it for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, just a pretty sloppy game. But again, Schneider having to roll left over there. It's tough to throw back across your body. He's trying to throw it pretty deep.
It will not count as a penalty because the penalty's been declined. So 4th down and 10. Corf Continental is your GMC, Chevrolet, and Buick sales and service provider. Pre-owned super centers ready to serve you in Sterling, Yuma, Julesburg, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Find them at corfautogroup.com. Tate Kimball back to punt at his own 34-yard line. B-Diggers have 10, but they're bringing 8. Left-footed end over end is going to land at the 16-yard line and take a huge roll inside the 15 to the 12 or 13-yard line. So the B-Diggers are backed up, but that might be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, but if they just get that ball control, they can eat the clock up here.
7 minutes and 1 second to go in the third quarter. Brush up by 25. It is 1st and 10. Fort Morgan actually had the best drive so far, but Joey Schneider was intercepted in the end zone by Cameron Alexander. And the B-Diggers have gone under center maybe about 3 or 4 plays in this game. Here's another one. Maltos Garcia under center. 2 in the backfield. Handoff Rosenbrock left side across the 15. Swings it to the left side of the 25. Stiff arms a defender across the 25 to the 30. Knocked out of bounds at the 31 as Eric Flukhoff stayed with Rosenbrock and made the tackle, but not before Rosenbrock picked up 17 yards.
That puts him over the top of the century mark with 107 yards on 12 carries. But he got tackled around the neck. You see that? A guy kind of bulldogged him down.
Yeah, the problem was, Davey, was tackled out of bounds, too, which stops the clock. So only 6 seconds expired. 1st and 10 at the 30. Maltos Garcia under center is going to hand it off right up the gut, and a big hole for Gutierrez, carrying defenders across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And there's a late flag. And check that was Conrad Cole. Ran like Gutierrez. It's a gain of 17. Now let's see what the flag is all about as Conrad Cole picks up the first down. That must have been verbal, Dave, because I didn't see a hit that would merit that flag. Maybe some verbal activity out on the field. And this will be personal foul against Fort Morgan. Maybe it was a hit, because if not, it would have been unsportsmanlike conduct. So tack on 15 more, and the B-Diggers will have the football inside the Fort Morgan 40.
Oh, Conrad showed some power there, didn't he? He had some Mustangs on his back, but it didn't slow him down. His legs just churning there like a blender. It's like the Tasmanian devil with those legs going so fast.
It's at the 39-yard line of Fort Morgan, 1st and 10. Cole is in that backfield along with Aaron Williams. Rosenbrock is out of the game right now. Maltos Garcia is going to hand it off to the deep man, Aaron Williams, and he's thrown for a loss of a yard. Excellent play by Alex Mai. And Fort Morgan's made some pretty good plays here and there. They just can't do it consistently.
They have, but those penalties have just killed them. Every one of those personal foul penalties happened at the exact wrong time.
It's a loss of about 2, 2nd down and 12, with a football at the Fort Morgan 41-yard line. Nearly halfway through the third quarter.
I was going to say they got to be frustrated. This group of boys have been playing against each other for 6 years, and the Digger seniors have had their way pretty much every game.
From the 41, there's the option. Maltos Garcia cuts it back inside, and he's inside the 40 towards the 39, and he's swallowed up. Again, Mai in on the play, but he was not by himself after the gain of a yard. Also there for Fort Morgan, Richard Herrera and Austin Cosman. 3rd, and we'll call it a long 10 from the 40 of Fort Morgan.
Garcia had to cut that back. They ran that bootleg to the short side of the field, and he just kind of ran out of room. He could tell he wasn't going to be able to turn it up on the corner, so he had to cut it back. Ran right into all the pursuit.
Guess who's back in there? Kyle Rosenbrock out of a shotgun. Third down and a long 10 from the Fort Morgan 40. Aaron Williams in motion to the left. Rosenbrock with a two-step drop, throws out to his right, wide open, caught by Peterson at the 30, along the sideline to the 20, and he's pushed out of bounds. It's first down for the Bee Diggers. Looks like he got the 17-yard line, which would be a gain of 23 for Brush, and Peterson ran a gorgeous pattern, and the throw was perfect.
You know, it was almost like a timing pattern, wasn't it? Because I don't know who that Fort Morgan defender was, but he came in and his arms were up in the air, and Rosenbrock had to let it go early. And so right after Peterson made that break to the sideline, he was only going down about 7 yards and then out. Right after he made the break, the ball was there, and he just made a great catch after finding it in the air.
First and 10 for the Bee Diggers at the 17-yard line of the Mustangs. Out of a shotgun is Rosenbrock. He's got the football, and he will keep it himself. Or no, is the ball being run? Yep, he was tackled, Rosenbrock was. But it was handed off up the middle, and that was Conrad Cole, I believe. Yep, it was. He got to the 14, a gain of 3, but Rosenbrock was tackled by two Mustangs.
That's just good faking going on there. And, you know, that gives Conrad an advantage because, you know, he's not that tall, but he's really fast and he's really strong, and that helps that helps keep the defense from actually seeing where the ball is.
Second down and 7. Bee Diggers have got to get up to the line of scrimmage, taking their time in the huddles. Rosenbrock is out of the game. Matos Garcia is under center on 2nd and 7. Baby will turn, hand it off right up the gut inside to about the 12. And the carry there went to Mikey Gutierrez. Well, just a yard, in fact. 3rd and 6 from the 13. And I believe Rosenbrock remains out of the game here.
Mikey's got 39 yards now on 9 carries. That's a good average for him, too.
He does have 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Rosenbrock remains out of the game. 3rd down and 6 from the 13 of Fort Morgan. Man in motion to the left is Guzman. Matos Garcia with a pitch left to Gutierrez. Cuts it back to the 10. Leaps over a defender inside the 10 to about the 9. He might only give him the 10. That'll be short of a first down, a gain of 3. And the tackle was made by Eric Kemble. So it'll be 4th down and 3 to go for the 10. The Bee Diggers will go for it with less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Neither team has scored in this third quarter. Brush is up 28-3. And Rosenbrock is back in. And do the Bee Diggers call a timeout because time is running out on the play clock? Or was that an equipment timeout or just an official's timeout?
It was a break, whatever timeout it was, because the Diggers were having some confusion getting the right guys on the field.
Clock has been reset. Rosenbrock in the backfield. Matos Garcia under center. 4th and 3 from the 10. Handoff to Rosenbrock, left side. He's not going to get it. He's inside the 10 to the 9. He is stopped short by Austin Cosman. It's a gain of 1. And the Fort Morgan Mustangs will take over at the 9-yard line, but the Bee Diggers did run 9 plays and took up about 4.5 minutes of game time.
So it takes Rosenbrock to 110 yards on 13 carries, 106 yards on 10 passes, completing 6 of those. No interceptions. Threw to 5 different receivers. Guzman was the only one of the receivers that's caught 2 passes.
Well, if you don't have to throw too much, it's usually a sign of success. And that's been the case for the Bee Diggers tonight. The Mustangs will have it 1st down and 10 at their own 9-yard line with 2:37 to go in the third. And the Bee Diggers holding a 25-point lead. Schneider's been under center a lot in this third quarter, as opposed to that shotgun formation throughout the first half. Handoff on the left side. There's a running back we have not seen in the game for Fort Morgan, and it looks like a fumble there. Brian Almanza had the football. Nope, no signal yet. Across the 10 to about the 12. The tackle was made over there by Randy Woodward. The gain is 3, second down and 7.
Outside of Snyder's 6-yard run he had early, his first run of the game, that's their biggest run they've had.
Second down and 7 from the 12. Schneider again under center. Takes the snap. Will hand it off right up the gut, and a nice hole there, and a first down across the 15 to the 20 and the 21-yard line, and that is Toby McBride. Give him a gain of 9 yards before he's brought down.
And that was actually what I was expecting to see Fort Morgan do all night right there. With the guy that big, and he's a fighter. He was a state champ last year in wrestling. And tell you what, the guy's going to break a lot of tackles. I figured he'd got a lot of carries tonight, but he's only had 4 for 11.
Yeah, remember, he scored on that big touchdown run last year to give the Mustangs the lead in the second half. 1st and 10 from the 21. Backs are split. Schneider on the counter to McBride, running wide to the left. He's thrown for a loss. Boy, that was a great ankle tackle by none other than Kyle Rosenbrock. The loss back to the 19-yard line. It'll be second down and 12.
It's like just trying that crossbuck action is almost just getting a little too fancy with a guy like him. You almost want to just run him right at you and just try to break the defense, break him emotionally.
And that's what the Bee Diggers did on that play. Second down and 12 from the 19. Hand off McBride, left side across the 25. And he's bowling into defenders and knocking over Brush Bee Diggers across the 25 to the 30. I don't know why they're stopping the clock. That doesn't look like a first down from here. Very close beyond the 30. But I think he's short. If he's got the first down, they're going to give it to him, a gain of 12.
Yeah, so in 3 plays, he's got 18 yards.
But this might be too little too late. Down by 25 points with 35 seconds to go in the third.
Brush hasn't come out of that 4-man front. Even though they're in double tight right now, they just dropped one of their linebackers down into a tight hawk formation.
There's the handoff on the right side to Jacob Fritzler, and he's tripped up. Rosenbrock and Tristan Teeter in on the play. It's a gain of 1. Second down and 9, and that should be the final play of the third quarter. As they look up at the clock, which reads 7 seconds. That is the final play of the third quarter with a score. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urick back from Bee Digger Stadium. 28-3 Brush over Fort Morgan, and the Bee Diggers are dominating yardage-wise as well, Dave.
Yep, looking at Brush just through 3 quarters, 287 yards offense, 181 of those on the ground, 106 in the air compared to 110 total for Fort Morgan, who's only got 12 yards on the ground.
Wow, second down and 11 to go from their own 30. Hand off to McBride left side, and there's a bunch of Bee Diggers there to throw him back from bottom and top. Rosenbrock at the top, Clay Shaver at the bottom, a gain of 1, 3rd and 10. And this could be a very good move here by head coach Harrison Chisholm. Let's see what the Mustangs can do with that smash mouth type of philosophy they've tried to establish here in the third quarter and now early in the fourth.
Well, you got to believe McBride's one of their better players after watching him last year. But, he's only had 7 touches tonight, and you kind of got to give the ball to your guns.
3rd down and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Schneider again under center in a passing situation. As the football, play action, rolls to his right, steps, throws, passes complete underneath to about the 39-yard line. Gain of close to 8, short of a first down. As the pass was caught by, I think that was Trey McBride, the freshman. Maltos Garcia makes the tackle. 4th down and a long 2 after the gain of 8. The Mustangs just go for it thinking that, hey, this game is over anyway. They don't have a shot to win, down by 25 with 10:40 to go.
And they got that horse McBride. He's a tough cat to bring down.
He is.
They can get his shoulders turned upfield. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to tackle him.
Me neither. My neck had hurt for a week.
Yeah, McBride is the receiver to the left. One split to the right. Backs it an eye. Fourth and a long two from their own 39. Handoff, and boy, stood up is McBride at the 40, and Kyle Rosenbrock with a perfect form tackle. There was a big hole there for McBride, but Rosenbrock threw him back.
Yeah, McBride actually didn't get the ball. I think that was
Fritzler again, yeah.
Yeah.
They gave him a first. How did they give him a first down?
Oh, I don't know. That's the second time. He was actually tackled on the other side of the 40, but they gave him the 40 and a half.
What is going on here?
Wow. Yeah, and everybody could see it because he picked him up in the air and pounded him in the ground.
That was Fritzler. You're right, Dave. It was not McBride.
So he gets 2 yards on that.
Two very friendly spots for Fort Morgan. Great tackle there by Kyle Rosenbrock. 1st and 10. It's at the 41-yard line, but it looked like it was clearly short of the stick. And no measurement either. Under center is Schneider on 1st down. Deep drop, looking to throw, setting up the left side. Wide open is McBride, and he's got it at the 40-yard line. Trey McBride tackled at the 38, a perfect pass. As the tackle was made by Gutierrez, and it's a gain of 21 for the Mustangs.
It's now 127 yards. 6 for 20. And Trey McBride's turned into their number one receiver.
Well, they're finding out that he's going to be a key offensive weapon throughout the course of the season. Now he's lined up as a tight end off to the left. One receiver to the right. 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at the brush 39. Hand off to McBride. Stutter steps. Drives his way inside the 35, and he's tackled at the 34. Gain of 5. Shaver and Gutierrez combined to make the hit. And that was the 10th play of the drive. The Mustangs did that earlier when they had a double-digit drive result in a field goal.
It was kind of shaky, though. He ran left, and he had a stutter step before he actually got his shoulders turned upfield, and he almost tiptoed. I think the Diggers are kind of lucky he's just not slingshotting at us, you know. If he was coming right at us, we'd be in trouble.
2nd down, a long 5, just inside the 35. Schneider, play action, looks to throw. Deep up the right side, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Underthrown near the goal line, well defended by Cameron Alexander. And intended for Eric Flughoft. 3rd down, and a long 5 to go. This will be the 12th play of the drive for Fort Morgan.
So Cameron had perfect position on him, and then when that kid looked for the ball, Cameron looked back for the ball and got his left hand out in front, just the way the coaches teach him.
Pass was underthrown. That certainly helped out the Bead Diggers, but as you mentioned, Alexander had outstanding position on the offender. 3rd down, a long 5, just inside the Bead Digger 35. Schneider, handoff right side to McBride, swings it to the outside. There's a flag down. He's tackled inside the 35 to the 32. And Maltos Garcia made the play. This one's coming back, though, I would think.
Yeah, Peterson got held pretty bad. He was trying to get out there. He was even putting his hands up looking for the official to throw the flag. And then at the very end of the play, the kid actually lateral dropped him onto the ground.
Petey knows how to sell that pretty well, huh?
He sold it.
All right. I'm sure Brush will take this penalty because it would only be about a 4th and 3. Weighing their options are the Bead Diggers. It's either a gain of 3 if they decline the penalty, but they're not, and that's sure the wise thing to do. And this football is going to be placed back at the 46 of Brush. Well, that changes Fort Morgan's strategy of running the football, because now you're looking at a 3rd down and 17. They've got to get to the 29. Schneider now in his shotgun. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. 1 setback. Schneider's got the football. 3-step drop. Looking, throwing over the middle. The pass is complete. That's a 1st down all the way to the 25-yard line. A laser delivered by Joey Schneider. Eric Kemble makes the catch. It's a gain of 22 to the 14.
149 yards now, 7 to 22.
Tay getting the job done. Ball's at the 24. I believe I said the 14, the 24-yard line. So they did pick up 22 yards. 1st and 10. Schneider again in a shotgun. 2-step drop. Throws left side. Passes intercepted by Rosenbrock. He's got nothing but green in front of him. Now he stutter steps back to the inside of the 50. Rosenbrock fumbles the ball, but it's knocked out of bounds. For a while, Rosenbrock had nothing but field in front of him, but Schneider then cut him off. Rosenbrock with his 2nd interception of the game as he is tackled in Fort Morgan territory, and Schneider throws his 3rd INT of the contest.
Yeah, again, Rosenbrock, that kind of looked like his first one. Just dropped back into his hook zone, and Snyder didn't see him there. Threw it over here to the left side. And, Rosenbrock just has such a good vision of the field. He sees everything, so he's able to predict really well, and that's what set that up for him.
I'm sure Coach Drice would like to see the Bee-Diggers score a touchdown here in the second half. They've been held scoreless, as have the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line of Fort Morgan. It's still 28-3. Maltos Garcia under center. Will turn. They'll hand it off to Cole, and the ball is fumbled and recovered by Williams. That's because Maltos Garcia and Cole collided. That was not smooth whatsoever. It's a loss of close to 3. 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, they were just trying to run that 24 dive out of a 400 formation.
Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery is your perfect combination. Open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturday, 7 until 4. Stop by and see them. 921 Edison Street in Brush. 7:15 remaining 4th quarter. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3. It is 2nd down and 13 for the Beat Diggers at the Mustang 46-yard line. With a back split. Maltos Garcia back to throw over the middle. The pass is caught by Shaver, who's hit at the 33-yard line. He took a couple of shots, but not before a 1st down and a gain of 13 yards.
26 yards receiving now for Shaver. Again, goes up in the middle off that 81 dump and just makes a nice catch.
Nice throw there by Maltos Garcia. The one thing he does not have, Maltos Garcia, is his height. But he delivered that perfectly. But that makes him that much more effective when he's running. Hard to find him when you run that offense effectively. 1st and 10 from the 33. Handoff, Rosenbrock, left side to the 30. Skips over a defender at the 25. 1st down inside the 25 towards the 22. It's a gain of 11 for Kyle Rosenbrock, and the Beat Diggers have another 1st down.
121 yards now for Rosenbrock. 14 carries.
We'll see the second team come in after this drive, you would think, considering we have 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go, and Brush leads by a 28-3 count. 1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers. At the 22. Receiver to the right is Zeke Coronado. Maltos Garcia is going to hand it off to Aaron Williams. He's got a hole up the middle and cuts it to the left side. Inside the 15 towards the 12. Very close to a 1st down as Williams exploded out of the chute there before he was tackled by Eric Kemble. And now the Fort Morgan defense, Dave, appears to be getting tired.
And they just trapped him, and that's one of the Diggers' pride and joys over the years, being able to run that 30 series, and we haven't seen it a lot tonight, but they sure took advantage of Fort Morgan on that play.
It's a gain of 9 to the 13-yard line, and the Bee Diggers just taking time off the clock. 2nd down and 1. Gotta love 2nd and 1. So many options here, even though I'm sure it'll just be a simple run, considering they just picked up a lot of yardage and they've got a huge lead. Williams and Cole in the backfield. And this will be a bootleg by Maltos Garcia to the outside, and he has nothing. Great penetration over there on the far sideline. Austin Cosman, and there's a late flag. That's got to be unsportsmanlike on somebody because I didn't see a late hit. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Now let's see what that's all about. as Nico Guzman checks back into the game. And this will be unsportsmanlike conduct against Brush. Randy Dreitz is not going to be happy about that. He just ripped off his headset. That's a dead ball foul, Dave, so it should be third down. Should be a gain of 1. And now it's third down and 14. Yeah, I would think that's a dead ball. Still says second down, but there's the third down now. Well, let's see what the Bee Diggers do on a 3rd and 14 at the Mustang 26. This is 4-down territory. With 5:20 to go. A great first half for the Bee Diggers. Not the second half they wanted. But then again, they have not allowed the game to get any closer on the scoreboard. Coronado, the receiver to the right. Cole and Williams remain in the backfield on 3rd down and 14 for the 26. Maltos Garcia. Play action. Looks to throw. Steps to his right. Pressure coming. Now he's going to run out of pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Taking a huge loss at the 35, a loss of 9. Richard Herrera and Jacob Fritzler make the tackle.
He just got swallowed up. He almost got a block to free himself, but Fort Morgan had so much pursuit, they just got past our offensive line and taking advantage of our young guys that are out there on the field.
4th and 23. I think the Bee Diggers are going to let the play clock nearly run out, then call timeout. Wouldn't that make sense, Dave? Because you got all 3 timeouts, and it is 4th and 23. That's what it looks like is going to happen. Maltos Garcia not even getting a play from the sidelines, and Randy Dreitz waiting for that play clock to run down. And a timeout will be called. And well, there's the flag.
Yeah, they just took the delay, didn't they?
Well, if they took the delay, it's because they want more room for the punter, right? And Kyle Rosenbrock? Because it's 4th and 28 now. And Fort Morgan is taking the penalty. If I'm Fort Morgan, I think I would have declined that.
Declined it, yeah.
More room for the punter. 3:46 to go in the game. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 3. 4th down and 28. Kyle Daniels and Tate Kimball back deep to receive. Rosenbrock standing at his own 48-yard line. Yeah, I'm a little surprised they took that penalty because, again, 5 more yards is valuable for any punter. Waiting the snap. It's perfect. With some light pressure, hits it off the side of his foot. And that ball is going to go out of bounds. Or is it out of bounds at the 32? Well, safe to say that was a horrendous punt. 8 yards.
It happens.
Went off the side of his foot. Yeah, Rosenbrock doesn't make too many mistakes. That's a rare one for him. So 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan. It was a good idea for the Mustangs to take the penalty.
I guess so. Now looking at that, if they predicted that, they're pretty good.
3:41 to go in the game. On 1st down and 10, Schneider is under center. Turns, hands it off right up the gut. I think that's Fritzler. And it is. It's a gain of 1. Bee Diggers pack the middle of the line of scrimmage. Jose Rodriguez made the hit. 2nd down and 9. Your one-stop center for home improvement projects, Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush, for flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. That is Ackley Building Center. Second down and 9. Schneider again. Awaits the snap, looking to throw. Pressure coming, steps out of it, throws to his right. Wide open, that is caught by McBride, who fumbles the football, then falls on it at the 47. That's Trey McBride, and that is a Mustang first down in Beat Digger territory. And the gain is 20 yards. And you're right, Dave, that McBride, he's become their bread and butter.
Yeah, he's the guy. I'll tell you what, he gets open. It's impressive for Fort Morgan to be able to roll left and throw it to a receiver that's running a deep pattern back across the right.
Ball spotted at the 47 of the Beat Diggers.
First and 10 at the Brush 47. Schneider in a shotgun. 3-step drop. Throws over the middle. The pass is caught off the left shoulder inside the 30. And a tackle was not made, but a whistle was blown. Caught over there by Isaiah Lopez. I don't know, he held on to that football. But the gain is all the way to the 25, a pickup of 22 and a first down. And now Schneider's got to be close to 200 yards, Dave.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's looking at 191 yards right now. 25 throws, 9 attempts.
First and 10 at the 25. With just over 2:20 to go in the game, Schneider looks to throw. Steps to his left, throws on the run underneath. That pass is caught underneath. It's going to be a short gain, and tackle was not made there either, but the offender was held up. Eric Flughoft makes the catch. Now let's see what the gain is. To the 15. No, call it a gain of about 10 or 11. Let's go 10. First and 10 for the Mustangs. They're looking to score before time expires. We are inside of 2 minutes to go. The Beat Diggers lead 28-3 at the 15 in a shotgun. Schneider is back to throw. Sets in the pocket, steps out of the pocket. Flag is down. He'll take off to the 10. Then he's going to be tackled right there by Rosenbrock. And we've got an injured Beat Digger. Oh, no, just getting up slowly. Looks like Jose Rodriguez, but more than likely that's going to go against the Mustangs. A chop block against Fort Morgan, and that's usually a 15-yarder.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Morgan penalties are just on the...
Well over 100 yards.
Yeah. And on the ridiculous side, just not sportsman, not good ethic football.
Well, this is going to draw them all the way back. Wow, this is a huge penalty. Huge.
Luckily, Jose got up and walked off of that.
20 yards, yeah. First down and 30. They've got to get to the 5. The ball's at the Beat Digger 35. We got a minute 47 to go. And they should restart the clock. They do. 2 receivers split each side. Schneider on first down. Takes a 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. Grabbed by the shirt tail, and then he's down. Sacked at about the 37. Omar Fierro. And it looked like the other Beat Digger in on the play was Diego Lopez. Even worse now. Second down and 32. Nope, check that. It was Randy Woodward that made the tackle. Along with Fierro. 56 seconds to go. Maybe time for 3 plays. On second down and 32 from the Beat Digger 37. Schneider is back to throw. Setting up, throwing deep over the middle. Intercepted by Rosenbrock at the 20. Along the left side to the 30. Rosenbrock up the left sideline to the 50. He might go all the way. Rosenbrock to the 20. The 10, 5. Touchdown for Rosenbrock. 80-yard interception return. Brush 34, Fort Morgan 3. Holy Mahungus.
Again, just step back into that drop zone, and Schneider's just having a hard time seeing him. Rosenbrock doing a great job just with his awareness on the field. knowing where the ball's going and seeing where the receiver's at. And he might be baiting Snyder into throwing the ball.
His third interception of the game. And obviously Rosenbrock has terrific hands.
In for the point after attempt.
Jaron Peterson
28. Jaron Peterson.
to attempt the extra point. And after having his first one blocked, he's made his last two. Amazing game for the senior Rosenbrock. Off the hold of Maltos Garcia. There it is. The kick is up. And that one is good. 30.2 seconds to go in the game. Brush 35, Fort Morgan 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Kyle Rosenbrock's 80-yard interception return is more than likely the only score of this second half. And Zeke Coronado will kick it off for the B-Diggers. Kicks it low and short, fielded by Daniels at the 20-yard line. Runs to his right, tackled across the 40 to the 41, although they might backtrack that football to the 40. At this point, Dave, I think you hand it off and get this game over with.
Yeah, I think I would have done that in the last series, actually. You know, when you're down that far, you just got to be so careful to make sure guys don't get hurt. Morgan's got some good players, just a bad start today.
And Joey Schneider threw some really good passes and some awful ones, because all Rosenbrock was doing there looked like he was playing almost like a zone defense on all three interceptions. He was just standing there.
Yeah, he just dropped straight back into his area and just read receivers.
At the 40-yard line, got a new running back in there for the Mustangs. 1st and 10. No, Schneider back to throw. Rolling to his right, throws underneath. Pass is caught at the 50, inside the 50, knocked out of bounds at the 45, and that is Eric Kimball. It's a gain of 15. We're down to 17 and a half seconds to go.
216 yards now for Snyder.
1st and 10. They're going to backtrack it to the 47. They're closer to 13 yards, but either way. And they have, I believe, all three timeouts left if they want to try and score. They've got, I would think, a maximum of 3 plays remaining. In B-Digger territory, B-Diggers are bringing a blitz. Schneider rolls to his right, throws underneath. Pass is caught, cutting it back to the inside and knocked down after a gain of about 6 as Flukoff makes the catch. And I don't think the Mustangs are going to take a timeout. That'll be it, as the Brush B-Diggers defeat the Fort Morgan Mustangs tonight in the regular season opener. Brush 35, Fort Morgan 3. Let's take a break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush B-Diggers post-game show is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center. In Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan, Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center is your farm and ranch headquarters for all your farm and ranch supplies, and they carry feed for all your animals and pets. The Brush B-Diggers win the regular season opener over the Fort Morgan Mustangs. John Beltran with Dave Urig, 35-3 the final score, and the B-Diggers wasted no time getting on the scoreboard on their opening drive of the 2014 season. 5 plays, 80 yards in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Mikey Gutierrez scores from 21 yards away. The extra point was blocked. It was 6-0. 3 plays later, Kyle Rosenbrock picks off a pass, and 3 plays thereafter on a 1 minute 46 second drive that covered only 7 yards. Rosenbrock finds the end zone from 4 yards away. Baby Maltos Garcia scores on a 2-point conversion. It was 14-0. Then the Mustangs went on a gorgeous drive. 16 plays. They started at their own 26, got to the 4-yard line, committed one of many penalties tonight. They had over 100 yards in penalties, and they had to settle for a 30-yard field goal by Franny Gonzalez. The drive took 6 minutes and 36 seconds, and the B-Digger lead was down to 14-3 early in the second quarter. A couple of drives later, the B-Diggers had 8 plays, 65 yards in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Mikey Gutierrez from 5 yards out. It was 21-3. And just before halftime, with 7.6 seconds to go, Brush goes on a 7-play drive, 61 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Kyle Rosenbrock with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Nico Guzman, making it 28-3. And the B-Diggers really not only committed a lot fewer penalties, but also won the turnover battle 4-0. 4 interceptions thrown by Joey Schneider. Dave will get into those numbers momentarily, including his final one, the third interception by Kyle Rosenbrock in the game. He took it 80 yards for a score as Brush won 35-3. And Dave, let's get to the numbers, which were only plentiful for Fort Morgan in the passing game because the B-Diggers did a good job defending the run.
That's for sure. 12 for 30. Like you said, all those interceptions by Joey Snyder and 3 of them to Rosenbrock. I'll tell you what, the thing is you got to give Rosenbrock credit, but like you were saying, there was just a few passes that I think Snyder might have been trying to force as he threw it back across his body, but that was where their offense was. 222 yards in the air. Kimball ended up with 5 catches. McBride had 3 for 49 yards, and then Lokoff had 2 catches for 16 yards there at the end of the game. But outside of that, that's about all they had. 19 yards rushing. Toby McBride ended up with 26 positive yards on 8 carries, but because of all the sacks and negative yardage plays, they just didn't have any offense on the ground.
Meanwhile, the B-Diggers were very successful on the ground, and even through the air, they had some pretty good plays.
Yeah, they did. Rosenbrock ended up throwing the ball, combining with Maltos Garcia, went 1 for 1, but between the two of them, they were 7 for 12 for 119 yards. Had a couple of receivers that caught 2 passes. Guzman had 2 for 17. Shaver had 2 for 26. Peterson had a 23-yard reception. Alexander had 1 for 28, and Maltos Garcia had 1 to start the game with 25 yards.
And the running game certainly did their job. They established the momentum on the first drive and kept it going.
You bet. Mikey Gutierrez ended up with 10 carries for 42 yards, so just over a 4-yard average, which is pretty good. Alec Peterson had 1 carry for 7 yards. Conrad Cole had 3 carries for 19, and Aaron Williams had 5 carries for 9 yards. But the big yardage gainer of the day was Kyle Rosenbrock, who had 14 carries for 121 yards, and that puts him right back on track where he was, a year ago and a year before that.
Dave, the way he played in game 1, and I know this is a team, but it's rare that you see in 11-man football, regardless of the classification, a guy who could be all-state first team on offense and defense.
It could happen. And, he could be all-state in 4 sports because don't forget, even back as a freshman, he pitched in the state championship game. So, this is a guy that's the real deal. And I know the Diggers have some pretty high expectations and hopes for him this year to carry him deep into the championship series.
All right, let's bring in the head coach of the B-Diggers, Randy Drides, following this very convincing victory over the Mustangs at B-Digger Stadium, a game in which the B-Diggers led 28-3 at the break before that Kyle Rosenbrock interception extended the lead and eventually won the game. Coach, first game of the season, your thoughts on the way your team played, especially in that first half when you completely dominated Fort Morgan?
I think they played really good. I think, you can tell we got a little tired of the second half. Guys are cramping. That's always that way in the first game. But our kids played really hard. I'm really proud of how hard they played and battled. And, we got great senior leadership this year that just rises to the challenge every single time, and it's exciting.
How about this brand of Brush football and offense that we've never seen? Not this under center, I don't want to say vanilla, but very basic, and that's not the way it is here in 2014 so far.
Yeah, we got to change a little bit. I thought a lot in the off season about with our personnel. I thought a lot in the off season about what we could do differently, and I just kind of came up with this, and coaches kind of bought into it, and the players were excited about it. We definitely need to get better at it. You can tell we haven't perfected it, but we'll get better at it, and throw a few more wrinkles in here and there. It will help us, and it was good for us to get a game under our belt. I mean, you practice against yourself, and you don't really know what you have or how good you are, what's going to work, and that type of thing. And it was really good to play someone and to see, what we have and how things are going to work.
Is it a fairly significant adjustment for the offensive line on certain plays? Seems that when the ball is held by the quarterback, you'd have to hold your blocks a little bit longer until that read option is completed.
Yeah, you do have to hold them a little longer, and that's the tough part about it. Our other offense it's really quick, and it's bam, you're there. And this one, you have to hold your block a little longer, and we'll have to work on some things. And we're going to watch film and hopefully learn from it and just try to improve each week. But right now we're going to enjoy this win, and you know, I just can't say enough how proud I am of the players, how hard they played.
You held Fort Morgan's offense to 3 points. How would you assess the defensive performance, knowing that they threw a lot of passes in this game?
Well, you know, we gave up some passes. We gave up, you know, some big plays. We had them 3rd and long. We had them 4th down, and they completed them. And that's a concern that we definitely have to address and look at what we're doing offensively or defensively to try to prevent that and hand it to them. Their quarterback threw the ball really well and had some people and open, and you know, we got to get more pressure too. Our tongues were dragging a little bit, and we definitely got to get more pressure on the quarterback.
I mean, I think you knew going into this game, going into this season, that Kyle Rosenbrock was the leader of this team, and he certainly proved it tonight, Coach.
Yeah, he had a great game. Kyle's a really good athlete and a great kid, and he just had a great game, and so proud of him and all the guys, you know, around him. And you know, it's a team game, and we're going to keep it that way. And you know, some games Kyle's going to shine, and some games others are going to shine. And you know, I thought everything went really well, and you know, Kyle threw the ball well also.
Were you surprised that out of the gate? I mean, we played less than 6 minutes. You're up 14-0, because many figured this would be competitive at least for a while, and yet you got Fort Morgan out of their comfort zone pretty early.
Well, I definitely was surprised that you know, we jumped out that much. Fort Morgan's they had a lot of good talent. They got size. They have some speed. You know, they're a good football team, and they should do well. You know, they'll probably learn from our game and how they can get better. And you know, you know, they shut us down pretty much the whole second half. So you know, thank goodness we jumped ahead the first half.
Yeah, you had some rain here at halftime, but didn't affect the field conditions, did it? I didn't see anybody slip, or was there a little bit of a change with the way the field was playing? It was. It's really soggy. You know, all the rain we've had, it was a little bit of a factor. We did have some guys telling me, you know, Coach, I can't stop real quick, and linemen said they'd take off and they'd slip, and that does affect you a little bit, but, you know, it's the same for them as it is us, so you can't use that as an excuse. Randy, congratulations on a big win to open up the season. Thank you very much. That's Brush head football coach Randy Dreitz after the Bee Diggers defeated the Fort Morgan Mustangs tonight, 35-3 in the regular season opener at Bee Digger Stadium. I know Coach and all of us are happy the first 3 games of the 2014 season are being played, I should say, here in Brush. Now, keep in mind, you can always follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Our Twitter handle at KSIR Sports, our Facebook page at 1010 KSIR Sports. That's our Facebook page, again, 1010 KSIR Sports. If you're looking for more scores, 9:30 on 105.7 KPMX. In fact, it's underway. It is underway, the Colorado Prep Scoreboard Show with Kevin Schaefer. That coming up on 105.7 KPMX. We'll have videos as well at KSIRsports.com of this particular game and our YouTube channel at KSIR B106. The Bee Diggers will be back in action a week from tonight when they entertain the Weld Central Rebels, 7 o'clock kickoff, again from Bee Digger Stadium. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Rose Condas. Of course, back in studio coordinating all of our football tonight on 1010 and on B106 is Alan Lanz. For Dave Urich, I'm John Beltran. The final score once again tonight from Bee Digger Stadium. Brush 35, Fort Morgan 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.